on the...
Welcome to Ask a Beaumont Doctor. Dr. Howard Corman, Director of the Prostate and Urologic Cancer Multidisciplinary Clinic at Beaumont Hospital, Royal Oak. Tell me about the multidisciplinary clinic.
The concept of a multidisciplinary clinic is that they can make a single phone call to one contact person and have all their appointments scheduled. In that phone call, they get arrangements for a urology appointment, a radiation oncology appointment, a medical oncologist, a social worker, a nutritionist, integrative medicine, and any other special needs they have, whether they be financial, physical, spiritual, whatever they are, all in one place and all in one day.
Shouldn't a person get a second opinion first?
Whether it's from the American Cancer Society or any of the big think tanks on cancer will tell you the first thing you do is get a second opinion. So what do we do? From the first opinion, you're getting second and third and fourth and 15 opinions from different doctors. So there's a certain feeling of completeness, and it gives you the comfort to make your decision.
Why should a person choose Beaumont for prostate or urological care?
Beaumont's the best hospital I've ever worked at. We have the newest in techniques. We never skimp on technology. We started with robotics, but now we're into high-definition robotics and the improvement of technology, and Beaumont never shies away from exploring the newest technology. We are capable of doing all three types of prostate removals. There's the old-fashioned open removal, the robotic removal, and the perineal removal. Perineal prostatectomy is done in very few institutions in the state and really around the country, so we are on the cusp. We're not just following people, we're pioneering things.
Tune in every week for more insights with Ask a Beaumont Doctor or visit beaumont.edu.
Let's get loaded with some tech information.
I'm Bridget Carey on CNET.com, and it's time to get loaded. Businesses can now officially create their own pages in the Google Plus social network. These brand pages can interact with customers in circles and even have video hangouts. Depending on how creative a store can get with a hangout, it might actually encourage people to use the network because, let's get real here, who is using Google Plus on a daily basis besides Google employees and tech geeks? And to make it even easier to find a brand page, now you can pull up a page directly from a Google search by just typing in a plus sign followed by the company name, like plus sign Toyota or plus sign Pepsi, but it only works for a few brands now. Panasonic is launching a line of rugged Android tablets that can take a beating as well as extreme temperatures. It'll be called the Tough Pad, and there will be two models, a 10-inch model for about $1,300, which will come out in the spring of next year. Another 7-inch model will be released even after that, late next year. I'm Bridget Carey for CNET.com, and you've just been loaded.
Get your fantasy football team ready to play every Sunday with CBSSports.com Fantasy Football Today. Featuring news and advice from the CBSSports.com team of experts on who to start and who to sit as they get up-to-the-minute news on inactives, injuries, and weather. Plus, get additional insight from the CBS Sports NFL Today crew. Before you set your lineup, watch Fantasy Football Today at CBSSports.com/FFT. Live every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
See Jack run, run, run. See Jack throw, throw, throw. See Jack jump, jump, jump. See Jack take steroids, steroids, steroids.
In case you didn't know,
see Jack get liver damage.
Steroids don't make great athletes.
See Jack have a stroke, stroke.
They destroy them.
See Jack stunt his bone growth.
Talk to your kids about steroids.
See Jack have a heart attack.
Need help?
Heart attack.
Get help.
Heart attack.
Visit drugfree.org. This message brought to you by the Partnership for a Drug-Free America and Major League Baseball charities.
Michael Patrick King, the executive producer of Sex and the City, gives you a sneak peek of his new CBS comedy, Two Broke Girls.
We thought it would be interesting to take Caroline, who is the rich girl, someone who's always had money and recently lost it, and put her with Max, who is the girl who has to work her whole life. One has book smarts, the other one has street smarts.
Do you know the president? I've met him. Have you been to Switzerland? Yes. Do you have a horse? Yes. Do you know Paris Hilton? No, she's 100.
Two Broke Girls, Mondays, only CBS. WXYT-FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. 97.1 The Ticket. A CBS radio station. Sports headlines all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by J.P. Morgan Chase. The legendary coach at Penn State decided that he is done at season's end. Joe Paterno announced today he will retire after the season. Paterno did not speak to reporters, but issued a statement and admitted that he should have done more in the wake of this sexual abuse tragedy. Paterno also said that school officials at Penn State should not spend any time on his situation yet. Coach has not talked to any of the board of trustees there. He made the call to retire on his own. Penn State President Graham Spanier reportedly will be fired or will quit by the end of the day. He's expected to be voted out of his position by the board of trustees. Lions reportedly are working out kickers with Jason Hansen injured. Head coach Jim Schwartz would not say what his veteran kicker has. This comes one day after Dave Rayner is signed with the Bills, so he is not available. Javid Best, Sammy Hill also missed Lions practice today. Team's on the road at the Bears Sunday. Chicago QB Jay Cutler a little snippy with the Detroit reporters today on the conference call and did promise there would be a totally different ball game Sunday compared to when the Lions beat up the Bears last month. Meetings are underway in New York, NBA players and owners gathering with 3 hours to go before David Stern's deadline for the players to accept the owner's 50-50 proposal. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Matt Derry. For more, go to 971theticket.com.
Mike Valenti.
I literally just walked into the studio 10 seconds ago. Everybody here is ready for Real Radio.
Terry Foster.
The whole office waits for me to come in, and when I come in a good mood, everybody, and by the way, thank you for your lovely hospitality.
Valenti and Foster. 97.1. The Ticket.
Hi. How's everybody doing today? All right.
Just like Nick Saban.
You know, something just occurred to me. It was very strange in the studio. Terry had said, I don't like your tone. And I said, you know what, Terry? I don't like it either.
It threw me totally off. I'm like, I can't even attack the guy.
Chastised on both ends.
Yeah, absolutely. You are a slippery slope, my friend, a slippery slope. What are we going to do there? What are we going to do today?
Well, we do have a lot of stuff to do. I mean, the Indomitian Sue conversation, but all things wait for the man that's entering the studio right now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really start.
Emergency alert system. This is only a test. The message you are hearing is part of a nationwide live code test of emergency alert system capabilities. This test message has been initiated by National Alert and Warning Authorities in coordination with emergency alert system participants, including broadcast, cable, satellite, and wireline participants in your area. Had this been an actual emergency, the attention signal you just heard would have been followed by emergency information, news, or instructions. This is only a test. We now return you to regular programming. All right, that was fun.
That was really exciting.
539-9797, just making sure the world's not in. All right, that was fun. Let's try this one more time after the emergency test. There you go.
There was still some remnants left, that's all. We're good.
I'm going to need, once Matt unpacks his snack pack, I'm going to need him to cue up the Paterno audio, because Joe Paterno, after we got off the air last night, really displayed he just doesn't care. And his comments last night about when these things happen, the victims lead a tough life. I mean, comments that were incredible. But then his statement regarding retiring at the end of the year. This is a man who should be escorted off of campus by way of catapult. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Joe, are you still the coach of Penn State?
Okay, so those are the idiot students and fans cheering, and we'll get to them in a moment. Paterno's comments I found to be very disturbing, but he is crafty and selfish to the very end. I loved his comment saying that the trustees shouldn't spend one more second worrying about him, as if he's doing you a service now by retiring. Meanwhile, they've tried to push you out the last 5 years, and you wouldn't have any of it. But now that it's been found out that you essentially protected and covered up for a pervert, oh, now you're going to do us the favor and retire. This is why I hate Joe Paterno. He is selfish, and he hides behind that aw shucks, I'm just an old, confused man routine. Then you look at the people cheering outside of his home last night. We always talk about this, these losers that attach themselves to tragedy. Now, this is just like when people show up outside the courthouse of Michael Jackson's doctor. Here, take a listen.
We love you, Joe.
We love you.
Hey, we're Penn State. Coach, we are. Penn State. We are. Penn State. We are. And we'll always be. And we'll always Penn Staters.
Yep, and all those people should die. 248-539-9797, because you're disgusting human beings, and I don't want you walking this earth or sharing my air. You're garbage as humans. Garbage. You show up at this house, and then what you're providing is a let Joe stay. Let Joe stay. We love you, Joe. Oh, will you please? Would you go play in traffic, you friggin' losers? This is exactly what I mean. People did the same thing with Tressel. Let me go hold a candle outside of Tressel's house. Get a life. The whole situation's disgusting. These fans cheering are disgusting. Paterno's comments are disgusting. Penn State University is disgusting. Fire his ass and shoot him off campus in a catapult. Way to jump in. Way to be ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, and I know a bunch of people are going to call in and make fun of the students that showed up last night. And you can do that at 248-539-9797. However, I have a critical question for all of you before you do that. Yeah, what was it? Was it 1,000 or 4,000? I mean, there was a bunch that showed up. 1,500 showed up at his house. And when you look at it, it's like, oh, man, what a bunch of idiots. However, I want to, turn this to Michigan fan. Michigan fan, you have the same scandal, and Bo Schembechler is your head coach. I bet you a bunch of people would show up at Schembechler Hall or his house saying, Bo, we must keep Bo. Okay? Michigan State. I am sure if this was a football scandal and
the idiots did it for Izzo. I
can't think of a football coach, so we have to go to Tom Izzo. Same thing with Tom Izzo. You would be at his house. You would be at the basketball facility.
Right, because fans are idiots.
And fans are idiots, and they love sports. These guys are kings. Basketball coaches and football coaches who are successful become kings. They're bigger than the president. They're bigger than the mayor. They're bigger than the governor. They are the ones who rule the universities, and they're the ones who are associated with our states. When you think of Pennsylvania, Mike, one of the first 3-4 names has to be Joe Paterno. And it's the same in this state. I say that any school that's had a very successful football or basketball coach, same scandal, you people would do the same thing.
No, and again, Paterno just doesn't get it. Still doesn't get it. I'm going to do all I can for Penn State. Really? Did you do all you could when you sat on this information and never went to the authorities and by proxy allowed children to be raped? Did you really do all you could then? You selfish old coot. I hate the guy. I've always hated him.
I know you have.
Can't stand him. And I think what he's done to Penn State University the last decade has been a joke. Basically held him hostage. But by him not wanting to destroy that football program, by him not wanting to shed a negative light on that program, by him wanting to silence what was going on, more children were victimized.
Yeah.
He had a chance to stop it in 94. He had a chance to stop it in 98. And he had a big chance in 2002 when one of his former players and an assistant went to him and said, look, I just saw Jerry Sandusky raping a child.
Mike, and here's the other thing
He's
that
disgusting.
he did. Here's the other thing that he did. There was supposed to be a meeting on Friday at the Board of Trustees, and I don't know what they're going to decide or whatever. But what he has essentially said is, I'm leaving on my terms. And you know what? The posse might be coming out to get me as soon as this Friday. I'm lasting the rest of the season. I've announced my retirement. So what are you going to do about it?
Selfish to the end. The trustees shouldn't waste a single second about me.
Okay. But here's the other thing, fellas. The trustees.
Hey, it's Matt Derry, by the way.
How are you? The trustees are, they're going to meet soon. What are you waiting for? Where are they, on vacation?
Right.
I mean, this meeting should have occurred Monday. It's now Wednesday. And now they're, according to reports, Graham Spanier, the president, either will be told you need to resign or we're voting you out, so you pick. But wait a minute, that should have been done already. For Paterno to say they shouldn't even waste any time on me, there's a part of Joe Pa that is right. He's owned these trustees. They are his bitch, to use terrible language, and I apologize, but they are. So he owns them. A lot of these same trustees went to his door reportedly 6 years ago and said, Joe, it's time to go. And he went, get out. And they went, okay, sorry, keep coaching. The trustees are waiting to meet. What are they waiting for? It's a nationwide scandal. This meeting should have already taken place, or meet now. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that.
248-539-9797. We'll go to the people. Go to Scott, who's up next. Hello, Scott.
Hey.
Hey.
You guys are crazy. What is wrong with you guys?
Well, tell us why, buddy.
You're convicting the man before he's even been charged. I mean, come on, guys. I think it's your hatred for Joe Paterno. The guy did what he was supposed to do. He turned him in.
Yeah, he did what he was supposed to do.
About it. That ain't his fault.
Scott, he did the bare minimum and turned his back.
The rest of this world, you're all goofy.
Hey,
okay, Corn Cob. Let me ask you a question, all right, Mr. IQ?
I don't even like Penn State, but you're convicting the man.
Because it's in a grand jury testimony. He didn't do anything, Scott.
They take him to prison.
Oh, my God.
Scott,
is your IQ over 50?
Hang on. Yeah. I got fresh news. Scott, even Joe Paterno admitted he didn't do enough and that now he wants to, quote, unquote, do what's right for Penn State.
Guys, if you've ever been in a position with that much authority, he probably has 500 people a week come to him. So-and-so did this. So-and-so did that.
Yeah, but Scott, how many come to him and say, hey, coach, an assistant coach had a 10-year-old bent over in the showers? How often does that happen?
Well,
well, what, Captain Chuckles? Well, what?
Go ahead.
He turned it in.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He went to his boss and changed the story. Oh, well, he may have been, fondling or something of a sexual nature. I don't know. You handle it. Then the best part is the guy's still on campus. Did he do anything after the 98 police report where his active defensive coordinator was showering with children? Oh, that's right. They shoved the guy out the door. Then the guy's still creeping around campus, and one of his players comes in and goes, dude, look what he's doing. He didn't do anything. Don't sit there and shill for this old, selfish wretch. He's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, old Scott. I like when Scott did the. That's how you shut him down, brother.
Was that Scott Paterno?
It probably was.
That call sucked. Hey, Paulson's is back and better than ever, and they have people a lot smarter than that last caller who work there, and they're going to help you out. I don't know if that last caller could turn on the TV. Come in and see the Panasonic Plasmas. They're great, and they'll keep you away from idiocy like that. The Panasonic Viera, the best contrast for movies out there. And remember, you go in now until Saturday, you ask for the Mikey Special, receive a free 3D Blu-ray player with the purchase of select Panasonic Plasmas. That offer's valid through Saturday, the 12th. Get your stuff installed by Paulson's as well. They work for Paulson's and not subcontractors. Whether it's mounting a kitchen TV to a full-blown home theater design, they're going to take care of you the right way. No place can beat them on service and price. No one. That's right. Paulson's in Farmington Hills, northwest corner of 12 Mile in Allstead. It's Paulson's Audio Video, and it is the toy store for grown-ups.
97.1 The Ticket. Karsh and Anderson middays.
Justin in Rochester just sent us the following ticket text. Paterno didn't skip the press conference. He's just confused. He thought he could sit up in the press box, not answer questions, and still get credit for doing it. Look, he can't coach again this year. I read that grand jury testimony. It's a strong argument that Joe Paterno knew about what Jerry Sandusky was accused of doing and did the least he could possibly do to bring it to an end. And until his name gets cleared, until he says he implored the president and the athletic director to call the authorities and was told specifically not to, which even so, I don't know if that's an acceptable answer. But until his name is either cleared or not, I don't think he should coach again.
You know, you used to think Joe Paterno was the paragon of integrity, the iconic coach of Penn State, and he is. He was all that, I should say. But a guy like that used to be able to have the ability to walk out on his own terms. Hell no, right now.
Karsh and Anderson middays. 97.1 The Ticket.
Here now is this week's Car Tech Minute from CNET.com.
A new way to see your smartphone on your dashboard. I'm Brian Cooley on Cars from CNET. It's a new technology called Mirror Link. The idea is simple. You plug your smartphone into a cable in your car's console, let's say, and then the phone's interface is mirrored onto the LCD screen built into your car's dashboard. This makes the phone's offerings bigger, stable, and easier to see at a glance. The downside, of course, is that it would seem to support the idea that you should be looking at your phone's functions all the time while driving. So companies using MirrorLink limit the apps that will work with it. Google Maps, yes. Video Player, no. Toyota is launching the technology on its cars in Europe now, and Directus just announced they have the first aftermarket kit in the U.S. that'll put MirrorLink technology in your current car. This idea is part of a megatrend in car tech you'll see get really hot in 2012. Find me on Facebook.com/AskCNET. I'm Brian Cooley.